Hey everybody, John C.
Denise Richards and the lovely Lulu.
Lovely Lulu getting decorated today. I love her hat, by the way, and her pearls. Those are really nice.
She's very happy to be back.
She's happy to be back.
Yes.
She's happy to be in the fall months. We're starting to cool off here a little bit in Florida.
A little bit.
Before we get too far into this video today when this video is posting is October the 13th. It's a special day. Mm-hmm. Do you know why it's a special day? You said that with such sincerity.
Well,
you probably don't.
I really don't.
That's fine. You probably shouldn't, but you will know because you'll see it on Facebook.
Okay.
And that is somebody's birthday today. It's a special day. It's my wife's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Angie. Aww.
She's 29.
Of course she's 29.
And
I was thinking 25.
Yeah. No,
29.
29.
Funny. That is a special day.
Anyways,
That's
happy
awesome.
birthday, babe. Love ya. And great wife.
Lulu loves you. We love you.
Lulu loves you. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's jump into today's video. Today's video is pretty serious because, as most of you know, if you watched the news at all in the last 2 weeks, you've noticed we had a huge hurricane come through Southwest Florida, specifically our area, Hurricane Ian. And basically it hit everything from Marco Island up to, well, probably north of Punta Gorda area, right?
I would say all the way up north of Sarasota, all the way east to Northport, down to Arcadia, and then all the way back around down to Marco Island. It was enormous.
Yeah, it was big. So there's a seriousness there, and our hearts, of course, go out to a lot of people who are actually homeless right now because your home got pulled away from the storm surge, or your roof got taken off from the wind. There's just a lot of damage along the coast, and then there's actually some good damage inland as well. Yeah. So our hearts and prayers go out to everybody who was affected by the storm, and we feel for you.
The reality is if you didn't lose your home in some way, shape, or form, you know somebody who did.
Yeah, and you don't have to drive too far around here to see the damage. It's pretty heavy, and so our hearts go out to you. But we want to use today's video basically to help anybody out there who's thinking of buying or selling a home, because after a storm like the hurricane that just came through, there's different things that you need to be more aware of, I would say.
Definitely.
Than before the storm,
yeah.
on all sides.
Sometimes that damage from the storm is not so easy to see.
Yeah, that's right. And that's one of the things I want to talk about from the buyer's perspective. So let's say you are currently thinking of buying a home here in Southwest Florida. One of the things you need to be aware of is if water comes in a home and then exits a home, you may not see the damage.
Right.
Your water gets in behind the walls. It gets into different things around the house. And then water not taken care of properly creates mold.
Yes.
Here in Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue. So my suggestion to you as a buyer, instead of going through all the things you need to look for if you're purchasing a house to make sure that the storm did not cause that type of damage in the home, instead of mentioning all those things, you need to make sure that you have a rigorous inspection during your inspection time period. There's a lot of homes that weren't damaged at all. Thank God our home, I don't think a shingle got moved on our roof. We have no issues, nothing at all. A little bit of rain came in because it rained sideways at 100 miles an hour. A little rain came in under the sliders. That was it.
I had a lot of roof damage, and I had water pouring in my kitchen, but you don't see any water damage.
Yeah.
So when I have my insurance adjuster come over, I'm going to have them go through it very, very, intensely to make sure that there's nothing in the AC system or electrical system. So like John says, you've really got to have an inspection that's incredibly rigorous.
Yeah. So I would suggest that if you're looking to buy, make sure you have a really top inspector who will recommend somebody here in this area. We have quite a few, but I want to recommend somebody at the end of this video to everybody who's helping with even a reduced price on those type of home inspections after the storm. But you want to make sure that you have that home inspection and use that time period during your contract phase to make sure there's no issues with the home, also with the roof, with mold specifically. Don't skimp on not having a mold report.
Right. The inspections that you get when you go in to buy a home, if you have financing, your appraisal is required. But there's no home inspection that's required for your lender. But that does not mean that you should not get one, especially right now.
Yeah, great point. And some people think that because there are states that do require some type of inspection report to get lending. But here in Florida, if you're a buyer and you're getting a loan from a bank, a mortgage person like Denise, they don't require you to have a home inspection report, just the appraisal, which is totally different. They're not looking, the appraiser's not looking for mold.
Nope.
They're not looking for those types of things that could be in a home.
Not at all.
So if you're purchasing a home, make sure you do that. Go intense on your inspection. Get everything you can on a inspection report. Hire an addition. I would even suggest get a roofer to come out specifically that's all they do is roofing. Get an AC company. That's all they do is ACs. Have those people that are niche in that field to do that on top of the home inspector himself.
But not to deter people from wanting to stay here or to wanting to buy here, because this is standard, normal operating procedure after a hurricane.
Right.
And it's just how we live.
Yep.
If you want to be in paradise like this, it's a very teeny tiny little thing that may or may never happen.
That's right. Well said. Well said. And if you're taken care of and you listen and you kind of get a little information from people around here, local people, but also the news, you'll be safe, right? Things can happen. And a home's can always be rebuilt. Yeah. So no matter what happens to your home, it can always be rebuilt. Lives, not so much. That's a different story. Let's talk about sellers just briefly.
Sure.
So if you're a seller and you're looking to sell your home post-storm, similar advice to a buyer, but a little bit different in a sense of this. If you're going to sell your home, I would also have an inspector come in and take a look, do an air quality sample testing, make sure there's no mold behind your baseboards or behind anything, because you will not see that type of mold typically. You're not going to see it. It's not black mold where it's coming out through the paint and everything. It's tucked in behind. It's in your studs. It's under your cabinets, on base cabinets and things like that.
Yeah, you would never know that it's there.
You would never know it's there until you start feeling bad. You start coughing. You have all these symptoms and you're like, what's going on? Well, you have mold in your air. You're breathing mold. Yeah. So you need to have somebody come in. So if you're selling your home, you need to do that pre-putting it on the market. You need to have an inspector come in and help you with those things. And you need to address any issues that were there and document that. So if an inspector says, hey, this piece right here of drywall has some wet moisture, get a remediation company to come in and take care of that and fix it, and then save that paperwork so that when the buyer comes in and makes an offer on your house, you can prove to them that you took care of those issues. If there was a roof issue, take care of those shingles on the roof. If there was any type of water damage like Denise had with her kitchen, take care of that, document it that you had a licensed contractor, professional in that field come and take care of it. It wasn't just your cousin Tom that came in and fixed the stuff, right? Because that's what buyers are going to want to see.
Take pictures of everything.
Take pictures of everything. Good. Any other advice there on that? You want to talk about some home loan stuff?
I do. I want to go back to the disaster victims from Hurricane Ian. There are a lot of people that are displaced. There are a lot of people that don't have homes. There are people that need so much work done to their home that it's going to be a very long time before they can live in it again or want to live in it. The federal government has a program for a zero-down mortgage for those affected by the disaster. They forgive the first mortgage in terms of the debt-to-income ratio calculation. So if you're nervous that you won't qualify because you have a mortgage, not true. It's not so credit score driven.
Good.
It's much easier to qualify for. I think they understand that there are a lot of people that are in very precarious situations and don't have a lot of options. This might be an option for somebody that just doesn't have any place to go.
Yeah. And this may open the door as well for people who were close to being able to get approved for a loan, but just maybe didn't have the right credit score. This maybe opens the door for even some of those people.
It may be a blessing in disguise that now they could qualify because this program has such reduced requirements. This is also applicable if you are a renter. If you're renting your home right now and you've been displaced or the home has been affected by the storm, you also would qualify for the same program.
Good. Yeah, really important.
It's important.
So I think the message is similar for mortgage, understanding of mortgage and options. There's options and there's programs that come out constantly, daily, weekly, monthly, that were different than when maybe you checked on mortgage rates, all that stuff, maybe a year ago. So there's always options. They're always bringing out things to help different types of people, whether it's industry or relief like this with the storm, and it helps out a multitude of people.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Anything else there on the storm? I think we covered pretty well there. If you have more questions about that, of course, reach out to Denise and I on anything. I do want to mention Joe, the home pro, Joe Nugent.
Joe Nugent, the home pro.
He is the home pro. He's the inspector I was briefly referring to earlier. Joe's a great guy. I've known him for years. He services everything from Marco Island up to your
Punta
neck
Gorda.
of the woods, Punta Gorda, as we like to call it, PG. And he will take care of you. I called him yesterday for a client that he did a home inspection for me 2 years ago. He's actually showing up today. He showed up within 24 hours to to check on some water damage that they had to see if there's any type of still wet, mold, anything like that. So he is on the spot. He's also reduced his price for any hurricane victims who have had any type of issues, or you think you've had an issue. He actually dropped his price to help you as well too.
Yeah.
So reach out to Joe. We're going to put his information below. He's fantastic. He's got a guy D that works with him, that's been with him for a while now, and they are on top of it. They're honest. They have a lot of people they trust as well too. So if they find something in your home, they can help you find somebody who will remediate that as well too, whether it's a restoration company, whether it's just a contractor, whatever.
It is so important to be connected, especially during a time like this.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, to have him in your tool belt, if you will, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you don't just want to call somebody. By the way, when I showed up to this house the other day, I didn't tell you this, but when I showed up to the house the other day to meet with these clients who were thinking of selling, in their door was a little pamphlet from somebody, because people are going through neighborhoods just dropping in their restoration company stuff.
A lot of door knocking going on.
A lot of door knocking, because there's a lot of money that people like to grab after these type of storms to repair homes. And it's okay to hustle and do well, but you got to be careful. A lot of people from out of the area have brought their businesses here, and not that they're not good, but
and we're grateful for them, the honest ones.
We are the honest ones, the trustworthy ones. But anyways, so just be careful when you're choosing who you need to help you with your home.
Try and get a referral from somebody that you trust.
Yeah, get a referral from somebody you can trust. Maybe these two. Anyways, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this video, we'd love it if you'd go ahead and do that right now. Lulu
All
would
things
love
home,
it.
yes.
All things home, and a hashtag likes for Lulu. We love that as well too. And hashtag Lulu Lending, I think is the other one. But thanks for watching our video. Hope you have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.